All right, sorry about the waiting and sorry about what happened, but we're good to go now. And can you guys see the presentation slide? Okay, good. We'll be starting right now. And okay, yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for attending the BYD training today. There's other trainings I believe there's happening today as well. And thanks you guys to spending time with us today. And we're just gonna go quickly. And today gonna be around 1 hour session. And first I will be just introduce a little bit, and then my colleague Joey will introduce the company as a BYD. Then we'll introduce the new BYD 2020 Premium Series, and today gonna be especially about the LVS 4.0, which is already released for the Australian market. And in the second half, we'll do a little bit Q&A and just answer some questions you guys having before, and also a product demo. It's not gonna be connecting to the inverters because you see we only have like a just a setup here, but we'll show you on a real batteries how it connected, and basically do on the BCU or on the top, show you what's the new connections, the quick connectors, and a little bit more about the commissioning. And I'll give the mic to my colleague Joey. And sorry, my name is Jay. You guys probably talked to me before. I'm working on the service side, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit service in the end. And I'll pass this to Joey, and he gonna introduce the BYD as a company.
Hi guys. My name is Joey. I'm the sales manager for the BYD battery box for the Australian market. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And I think everyone is pretty busy, especially today. There's a Smart Energy Council, a Smart Energy virtual show today. And I think, again, thank you everyone for joining us. And just like Jay mentioned, we today have show you the Battery-Box Premium series, the low voltage series today. And firstly, I'll give you some introduction for the BYD company. I think there's probably a few friends here already know the BYD company very well, but just give some fresh updates, like a spring update about the BYD company. And then secondly, I'll hand it on to the Jay and Leo, who's give you more introduction of the product. Yeah, I think a lot of people know what is BYD doing and who is BYD. So BYD actually stands for Build Your Dreams and also Bring You Dollars. So that's our dream, our mission. And the company was established in 1995, and currently we have 220,000 employees across the world and over 30 industrial parks globally. And the supply chain is a nationwide company with the global talents, global supply chain, and the manufacturing operations in Australia. So we have the BYD office in Sydney, and in other countries as well. We have the office, and our headquarter is in China, in Shenzhen, which is near Hong Kong. So we're currently actually in BYD headquarter. What BYD is doing. So firstly, from the very beginning, so BYD start with the electronics, and basically all you see here is the BYD customers. So probably you are not using the BYD product, but there is a BYD battery inside of your cell phone. So you actually are using the BYD product. And then secondly, as I mentioned, the BYD battery. So the battery is actually the core technology for the BYD. So we have over 25 years of the R&D capabilities. And then we also have a whole industry chain layout. And the manufacturer, so automatic, intelligent. We have, for one single factory, we have got over 100 robots. And also the BYD battery is verified through over 10 years reliability applications in the electric taxis and the buses and the passenger vehicles. And last, and the next piece for the BYD is the new energy. The BYD actually supply from the residential storage systems to the commercial storage systems, and also to the big scale, the containerized storage systems. So actually, we got the whole product range for you. And from our team perspective, that we basically supply and focus on the residential storage systems, which is the Battery-Box Premium series. And yeah, and also for the in terms of the battery, so BYD has the end-to-end R&D capability. I think there's a lot of battery manufacturer on the market, and some of the market, they mainly do the pack R&D manufacture, and then other manufacturers, they also have the cell and the BMS R&D manufacturer. But I believe only a few companies that have the entire supply chain and have the entire process from the raw material, the chemical material, to the cell level manufacture, to the module level manufacture, and the pack R&D manufacturer, and finally to the recycle. So BYD actually is one of the leading global battery manufacturer who's control the full process from the very beginning raw material to the final recycle. So to give you more confidence, and then the pricing is good, and then is applied across the BYD whole product. Yeah. So the battery is used, like I mentioned, in the electronic product, and also the electrified transportation, and also the battery box, the energy storage systems. Yeah, so that's basically the information from the company perspective. So next, we will share with you some of the very informative information for the product. And I'll pass on to the Jay.
All right, thanks, Joey, and sorry about the mic. All right. Okay, and can you guys hear me now? Yep. All right. Just we'll get this quicker, and we'll move to the product demo real quick. Just don't want to bore you guys, and just give you like a timeline, like a roadmap of what the BYD battery is. And I see some familiar faces that's from the chat, and basically you guys purchased BYD battery before, and you will recognize this one, the black box, the 13.8, the 2.5, which is we actually released in Australia. This is 2015. That's actually in Germany, but in Australia is 2017, which is roughly 3-4 years ago. And later we released a new stackable design, which is we're the first battery to have this no cables, quick connector design of the battery. And now this year we learn from the experiences, and now we're having a better design of the stackable batteries now. And today we're gonna mainly cover actually the low voltage range, and tomorrow we'll cover mainly on the high voltage. And we're gonna talk about a little bit, on the high voltage with Fronius SMA, a new Sungrow 3-phase and a new Goodway 3-phase inverters. But today we'll mainly focus on the low voltage side. And this just a little bit comparison between the old gen, like old BYD series, and with the newer ones. And the 2.5, the 13.8, if you are old BYD customer, you already know this better than me, maybe. I wouldn't cover too much, but this year on the low voltage, we now only having 2 products. One is the 4.0 LVS, as for small, and a low voltage large, L for large. And also on the high voltage side, we have small and medium, but we won't talk about today. And just want to talk about a little bit on the market share, because there's too many battery products on the market, and you never know, which one is better, which one's worse. You only know which one's cheaper, or which one is more expensive. So based on the research that's from the Germany, they have the BYD ranked actually number 8, number 9 in 2017 in the Germany market. And then in 2018, you can see from roughly 3-4% to jump to 13% is when the year we having the stackable system. And you can see it's a big jump from number 8 or number 9 to the number 3 in 2018. And then the 2019 will be a bit more impressive, as we're already ranked number 2 in Europe and number 2 in Germany as well. And it's very close to the number 1, which is sodium battery. But this is show you the BYD is, it's not like the products we're selling all the same products. It's just like inverters, we're releasing a new products, and we want to make the products better, and we want to keep us in the leading position in the whole market, either in Australia or globally. And why there's no Australia data, like they only released the 2018 Australia data, and we're ranked number 3rd, but there's no data for 2019 yet. But we hopefully we still top 3 in the Australia. And furthermore, it's just on the global sales, we have updated data, and we have more than 100,000 of installations, and each system roughly 10 kilowatt hour. And this data is up to Q2 2020 and cover 27 countries. A little bit more about the rewards. I wouldn't explain one by one, but you probably see those rewards already from other manufacturers. It's just show you, we are the top leading battery manufacturer here. Okay, on the new products, very exciting. And first is the low voltage range. We have the LVL and the LVS, and the starting point is 4.0 or the 15.4. And you can basically simply expand the system. And for example, one tower of the 4.0, you got 24 kilowatt hour. Then you have a possible total of 256 kilowatt hour system. And the 15.4, you can stacking 2 together, top and bottom. And you will see this in the product demonstration after. Basically, we'll show you how large the size of the 30 kilowatt hour system that is, and very impressive. Like the size of the system is much smaller compared to our old system. And if you pairing parallel 64 of those batteries, you got roughly 1 megawatt hour system. I put in IP20 here is just show you the major difference. So okay, the customer want to do a 48 volt system, and for off grid, there's a 2 major difference. Why, which one I should select better? Like the first to come to mind is, does the customer need, or does the installer need to install the battery outside the house? Because if you're doing outside, you need the IP55 no matter what. But if it doesn't matter, it's putting into a garage, putting into like a storage room just inside the house, then both is okay. Then another question is, okay, I want to put the battery inside, and which one is better? So depending the size of the system the customer looking for example, a 16 kilowatt hour system and a 15.4, definitely the LVL is cheaper. So the larger the battery is, if you purchase the battery, it's cheaper. We manufacture the product. So then if the customer, okay, I probably just need a 15 kilowatt hours for now, and I probably expand my system in two years. to like a 30 kilowatt hour, then this will be your option. But if customers say, okay, I'll probably need another 5 or 10 kilowatt hour next year, then the LVS will be your option. And there's a furthermore, difference on the connections, on the how easy installation that is. There's some more difference we'll cover later. Okay, and now the high voltage, we wouldn't cover too much today. The high voltage, we have a small system and a medium. You can remember this if you cannot attending the training tomorrow. The major difference between two batteries, they all IP55, they all can do on-grid, off-grid. The only difference is the HVS, that's the performance, good for kilowatt, and the HVM, good for energy, kilowatt hour. So customer want larger size of the battery and with minimum performance required is this one. The minimum performance I mentioned is we compare to other batteries. If they say they have like a high performance, then for us, their standards is our minimum performance required. And if they need the highest performance, which what I mean is can you guys hear me now? I see the voice is gone. Right? Okay. I'll use another mic, sorry. Okay, so basically what I just mentioned is the on and off bridge. I'm actually gonna put in the data sheet after is for the BYD batteries, it doesn't really matter if the battery can do on-grid or off-grid. All you need to know is the battery have enough power output. It doesn't really matter if it's on-grid, off-grid. As long as the inverter is supporting that. You are not putting a 5 kilowatt hybrid inverter doing off-grid. This is not supposed to be because they support emergency backup. It's not a pure off-grid, but depending on your, but this is more detailedly on the selection of the inverters or the system for the customer application. But yeah, like we could talk more, regarding, using which inverters or which batteries, but okay, this is giving you the list of the compatible inverters we have. Oh, so actually, okay, you guys didn't hear from the last 2 minutes. Okay, just put in general, the high voltage system will actually discuss more about the high voltage system on the tomorrow training and also with the product demo. But today we'll cover the low voltage first. And for the high voltage, simply in the Australian market, you are very likely to get the HVM. It's good for energy, good for kilowatt hours with the same price compared to the HVS. You can get more kilowatt hours on the HVM. And the HVS, why the HVS there is simply just because the HVS is the performance model we released for the Australian market. And simply, if you need to discharge your battery in 1 hour with 1C rating, the HVS, that's your option. All right. But I don't see many customers require, for example, discharge my 10 kilowatt hours in 1 hour is really not something, many customers needed. But if they need a real huge backup, then the HVS probably is one of your choices, but a little bit more expensive. All right, we talk about the compatible inverters. So first, today just gonna cover the LVS, and we having the basically same old SMA, Victrons, Electronic, Sungrow, and Goodway. So you probably see the list of the same inverters compatible with the old BYD batteries, and those will be the same range with the new batteries as well. And on the high voltage, we have Fronis, Sungrow, SMA, and Goodway. We're gonna talk about tomorrow. And the new commercials, basically we already released in Europe, and we already have more than 100 of those systems already released. Those for like a 200 kilowatt hour system. But in Australia, we just doesn't have inverters that's already compatible with. We can sell them together, and we're having a Goodway coming up. They have a commercial AC coupled inverters coming up, but it's just still to be determined when the inverters is ready, but the batteries is already ready. Okay, I'll swap to my another mic. Sorry guys, hope you understand. Technical difficulties. Okay, can you guys still hear me? All right, still okay? Hello? Okay, yep. Okay, now we move to the low voltage range. So first, this is, as I mentioned, we have a patent modular design, and the high scalabilities is from starting point 4.0 kilowatt hours, and you can expand to 1 megawatt hour with the LVL. And this year we're releasing a new app, which is called the Bconnect. This app gives you the options to do the commissioning, to do the updates, and we are actually trying to make this app as more, having more features in the future. But we already have this app with minimum features what we need to commission the system right now, and we are putting more, for example, like installation steps, like remote monitoring, and also using the username and password to log into the system. Oh, sorry, and stable internet. Still okay? Internet. Okay. Still hear me? Hello? Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay. All right, next to the remote service, it basically is what remote service we're having at the moment is not open for the customers, not really open for the installer. Installer have a local monitoring on the app, but on the remote service is if you could connecting your battery through a LAN cable, a Cat5 cable to the internet, we can see the system remotely and we can tell what's really going on. And if any issues, then we can send the replacement parts right away. But if you couldn't get the system connected, we do also have a software you can put in on your laptop. Basically different ways now with the new battery, different ways, more easier ways to get the data, because in Australia, we know we as one of the batteries for the off-grid market, and it's too far away. If we want to do a replacement, we definitely need the data for us to giving you replacements. So this is one of the most important. If you could get your system to the internet, that would be good. If you really couldn't, we are finding a better way to download the data and sending back to us, or maybe like a portable modem we can send you later. This is also in the discussion, but just to let you know, on the troubleshooting, we'll try to make your life easier and try to make our life easier. I will cover more in the service updates I'm gonna talk about at the end. Okay, now is this probably I wouldn't cover too much. We have the highest industry standards. As you know, the BYD electric cars and our battery share the same technology. And for most of the standards, we share the same standards with those car battery standards. So safety first, right? Okay, this is on the battery chemistries. And I probably, if you guys hear my training before, like every time we talk about this, is BYD treats our battery as the first the safety is the first priority. And this is just show you the thermal runaway temperatures is higher than what other batteries in the market. And this will be the major one that's from Tesla or LG Chem. And just one interesting, you can search Google online is Tesla on their cars, they're now using the lithium iron phosphate batteries. And the BYD have both technologies. Why we're selecting this one? We have our reasons, and I couldn't say that one by one, but first, cheaper chemistry. Second, more safety. Third is on the performance-wise, why our battery can do off-grid and the other batteries cannot do off-grid. Remember those three features? That's why we're selecting this battery for our residential storage, but other companies, they couldn't, or some of the company already realized this and they're changing to the LFP chemistries. Okay, one direct comparison is just mention that those batteries is not LG Chem, not Tesla, because they are highest standards with our batteries. We are the top level battery manufacturers. And you can tell basically with the same price, you can source from the market how much we're putting into our batteries and how much they design their system and to packing their batteries. And yeah, like if you guys have a chance, you have faulty batteries from BYD or from other battery manufacturer, you're having them back, just take them apart. Like probably the manufacturer wouldn't allow you to do that, but just do that secretly and take them apart. You should able to see, win the most and putting into the product. Okay, now we go quickly to introduce the product itself, and we go to the live demo real quick. And we have the LVL 15.4. You can parallel up to 64 of them, roughly up to 1 megawatt hour. And just easy installations, I will show you later. And basically you can extend, you have high power and you have parallels. So we mentioned extend anytime. This is probably the stories no other battery manufacturer offer, especially you're talking to the other ones. The same batteries won't be able to deliver in next 10 years, to be honest. We don't say this exactly type, we can extend for 10 years, but definitely BYD offer the options, as you know, with the old 13.8 or the 2.5, we still offer the options. And just talk to us, and now we are having a better solutions for the existing system extensions. But don't worry about the new products. They will be still around 2 or 3 years now. And some more details, what I want to point out is, so first is IP20. Second, this is the to 250, that's the maximum continuous power output. And in 5 seconds, this is the surge power. And further to that is now we have a BMU. So if you know BYD, you know there's a BMU. Now we sell them externally, now come with every boxes. You can think the BMU is a level 2 controller, which is for the communications and control multiple BYD batteries. All you need for one installations, if you having one communication from the inverter to the battery, you only need one BMU. So what I mean, you need one BMU is simple as you have batteries 15.4 here, and in Australia, you need external circuit breaker. Even though our batteries have a power switch and also an internal fuse, but with the new standards, you will need a circuit breaker that's to shutting down the entire system with one click or one switch. Doesn't matter is a BYD battery, is other batteries, they're saying, okay, I have internal circuit breakers. Doesn't really matter. If you come to the standards, you have a larger battery system. You need an external circuit breaker to shut down all the batteries with one switch. All right. And this is the BMU I mentioned. And one communication to the batteries on the input. And if you parallel more batteries, you still need a one BMU. It's more like a level 2 control. All right. This just give you a one, understanding what size of the new batteries now. Like this is the old 13.8, and they roughly the equal size of the 6 premium LVL. So less than half of the size required for the new batteries, which give you more space. You can put in a nice, nicely looking battery system for the customer. Okay, this is the major parts we want to talk about today. And it's the LVS 4.0. I know many customers is waiting for this batteries already many months already. And now we only got the first batch released in Australia. Is 100 batteries. It's already sold out. Really, unfortunately, if you haven't got this battery, it's already sold out. And to be honest, the second batch, which is roughly 800 batteries, coming in early October, they almost sold out as well. So just if you want these batteries, please contact your distributor and to get this battery reserved. Otherwise, the battery is sold out very quickly. All right. And the starting point is 4.0. Doesn't matter it's off-grid, doesn't matter it's on-grid. Now with this battery, you can do everything. And up to 256, this is probably, I don't see many customers go with 256, but more likely they go with 16.0 or they go with like 30 kilowatt hour system, all right? And this, what I mentioned, some selling points of this new batteries is on-grid, off-grid, single phase, three phase, doesn't matter, and is ideal for a residential and commercial applications. And this is a more detailed data, but I probably won't cover too much. It's a similar performance as the 15.4, but this battery is more flexible. The starting point is a smaller battery, but the customer probably need to pay a bit more. Why there's more? First is for each battery module, we have on the product itself, it costing more, and they need the BMU as well. Doesn't matter. For low voltage, 48 volts, they need a BMU. And this one, because the battery is IP55, you can put outside, you will need a BMU for IP55 as well, all right? And how about the IP20? That's the BMU for the LVL. Can you parallel them up to the LVS? Yes, you can. Like definitely you can internally, they are the same BMU, but externally for the LVS, if you want to install the system outside your house or the customer house, you will need the IP55. And later we'll try to do is we try to release only the IP55 in the Australia market. But at the moment you will see two different ones. And remember, both of them working with the LVS, but just the recently released the BMU. On the older stock, which is you probably purchased before, the extra BMU you have in your own stock, letting us know because they need to update the BMU. Okay, the new system, there's a few more features we want to put in on the new batteries, and very differently to the other battery manufacturers is now we want no cables and everything is you can connecting externally. You don't have to open the covers, don't open the top. All you need to do is just stacking up the system together, everything externally. You have a quick connectors. We'll show you what that quick connector is and just plug we want to make the battery very simple. Like, why it is so hard? It could be simple as just the DC cables plug in, the communications cable plug in, that's it. No further work. And that's what we're trying to achieve, like to make the achievement here. And okay, now it's the service side. And so my name is Jay. Probably you guys, if you have a technical questions, it normally first goes to me. And if I'm busy, then I'll send to my colleague to help you guys. And we as a company called Alps Power, and we took the local training in Australian market for trainings, for services, for warehousing. And this year, I believe we got you guys probably get some negative feedback. That's true. And we want to make some improvements on that. Like, I personally apologize for those customers. You're really having, a hard time with us on the service side. So, okay. So basically what I just mentioned, there's some improvements what we're doing right now, and we want to make this better is, first, we already got more service agents, but probably all the phone calls is to me first, because we want to basically give you, I know all the products and what issues happen before or after, just to save you time. I probably solve this quicker. And then if I cannot solve it, we already have more staff that waiting and they can handle the more cases. And secondly is the replacement part for the BYD batteries on the old generation. Like, because the COVID virus that happened early this year, we already changed to a new products. And on the old products, to be honest, on the replacement parts, we have few months we are waiting for the parts that's after the virus finished, the factory able to giving us the parts. And now we have enough parts for 2.5, enough parts for 13.8. If you're having any questions, we all using the new batteries to replace. If the battery cannot be solved with the spare parts, we have them enough batteries, new batteries, not the refurbished battery, what other battery manufacturer doing, or what we're doing before. They are all new batteries. For the 3.5 and 1.28, apologize for that. We're still waiting 1 month. We'll get enough batteries and we'll send the new battery to replace if we believe that's the easier option for the customers. For the new series we released this year, we have enough stock. Everything is dispatched in 1 or 2 business days. And basically we'll make sure if anything happened, because we could not control the DOA issues, but if happened, we want to solve as soon as possible. And on the contact number callback, if you having troubles on site, give us 2 phone calls in a row, we will call you back as priority. And we try to make sure all the phone calls we can take, and we're having more staff waiting on the phone call and on the hotline, just waiting for accept the phone calls. And the email follow-up. I can see some of the customers still waiting for that follow-up. If you having issues, please call us. This is quicker for the email follow-up, and we'll get your issues solved quicker. And the weekend support. If you need support on weekend, we can definitely doing that. Just letting us know you want to do some troubleshooting, you want to do installation on the Sunday, letting us know, we'll help you on to that. Just, we try to help you as much as we could here. And on the spare part is, okay, you now having batteries issues. You are 2 hours away from the system. Please letting us know before you go there, because we may send you spare parts so you can have, if you want to do a replacement, you have the parts, you can do that. So this is more on the makeover of our Australian service. I understand that there's some negative feedback, and this is hard for us as well, and we try to get this better. All right, sorry to bore you guys. It's just, I really want to say as a service manager for the Australia market, and it wasn't really going well in the past 6 months. But now we'll go to the exciting part as the Q&A and also the live demonstration. Some of the case studies are probably due to the time. I probably just, go to the Q&A and the live demonstrations now. Okay, I'll pass to and thanks for my colleague Leo and Amy, they are answering questions in the Q&A. And now I pass to the mic to my colleague Leo. You probably know Leo, he's the manager in Australian market. And we'll do a live demonstration.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you? My name is Leo. Maybe I have been talking with a lot of you guys, and today it's a pleasure to introduce our premium series, the BYD Battery-Box Premium series. We prepared some live demonstration. Here is our new showroom. So basically, here is overview of the Battery-Box Premium family. We have got Premium HVS, stands for High Voltage Small, and then Premium HVM, stands for High Voltage Medium. These two batteries we're going to introduce in the webinar in tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m., right? But today, we're going to focus on the LVS and LVL, right? So basically, we have prepared a big product launch event for this LVS. It's really a great product, but due to the coronavirus issue, we have to launch this product online. Well, but today is a great opportunity to introduce this LVS products. So if you can allow the camera, let's see the whole picture. 我看整体，全体。Yep. So 往下一点，再往下。Okay. Now we can see the bottom of the battery. So LVS, it comes with a cover and a base plate, right? These two parts comes in one box. And we got the battery modules, battery blocks in between. As you can see, this is a typical classical BYD modular design, stackable. Each module is 4 kilowatt hours usable capacity, 51.2 volts, which we normally call it 48 volt, right? And then it's 45 kilo. It can output continuously 65 amps, and the peak output is 90 amps. So if you times the voltage and the current, so this one can continuously output more than 3 kilowatts, and the peak is 4.5 kilowatts. While you, if you increase the battery modules in a stack, the power also adds up, right? So for instance, if we use 4 battery stacks, 4 batteries in the stack, so the output is really high. It just times the output power, right? Okay, so basically, I'd like to let you know how easy this product can be installed. Simply put them together, and no cable connections you may have already known, and put them together simply. That's it. So we have prepared a real battery module here. So if you can see it clearly, when you open the box, here is what you're going to see. There is a MSDS, and then you can see some cardboard here. So this is different from our previous products. Previously, we have plastic sheets here to do the protection. And we got some feedback and saying cardboard is more eco-friendly. So that's why we have made these changes, right? And if you remember, the weight of this battery module is 45 kilo. So it is possible to be lifted up by just one person, right? So it is relatively easy to install, right? So that's it. Just install the base plate first and put the batteries one on top of another. That's it. And then the next step, let me see. This is a dummy, so it's light. There is only one screw here to lock them together. So which means we put them together and use a screwdriver, 1, 2, 3, to lock them, oh, 4, 1 in the bottom. So that's it, to lock the system, right? Okay, so on the top, you can see there is a breaker inside. This is a built-in 250 amps DC breaker, right? It will save you an external breaker and save the installation time, right? So cable connections, okay. This is a unique design. It's very good design, I believe. So once you put them together, it is not necessary to open any cover or install any screws or things like that, right? So we have introduced 2 cable connectors. So here's what you're going to see. Positive, a negative, and comms cable, one for in, one for out, to do the parallel connections. If you only have one stack, then you only need this in port. It's an RJ45 port, right? So basically, here is the power cable connector. It is IP55 rated, and let me introduce a little bit. Let me introduce a little bit later more of this connector. What you can do is to make this connected to a cable, plug in. That's it. That's how easy you can connect the DC power cables, right? And then next step, we got a Cat5e or Cat6 patch lead, and we got this BMU. So this BMU is called Battery Management Unit. So it has 2 major functions. One, to manage all of the battery stacks. So if you have you have more than 1 stacks, you only need 1 BMU. And another important function is to talk to the inverter. So there are only 3 ports, RJ45 ports. So okay, so we got Ethernet. This one is to connect to the router in your customer's house, to connect to the BYD server, where we can do firmware update remotely, or we can do data download, right? And this one is to inverter. So to that port, to the input. And sorry, this is to the inverter, and this is to the BMS. I'll just show you how simple it is to install it. Basically, just connect BMS, and the input. That's it. So, and the other halfway is to use a mobile phone app to set up the inverter's model and select the battery numbers. Right. So that's the installation, hardware installation, right? Now I'm going to move and how to turn on and turn off the battery. First, turn on the DC breaker. Just turn it on. We got on, trip, and off. 3 positions. Then press the bottom battery, the top batteries on the button. Press and hold for 1 second. And the system will turn on. Don't press the other batteries button to turn on because the top battery has priority, right? So it won't damage, won't damage at all. Just this one has priority. If you have more than 1 towers, just press the top battery of the master tower, right? This one has the priority to get the initial address, right? So to turn off, you can simply just turn off the breaker here. Right, so that's our new LVS premium battery products. It's IP55 protection level, and it's highly flexible. Up to 6 modules can be in 1 tower. But if you want to do the parallel connection, we recommend only up to 4 modules in 1 tower. The reason is the output power of 1 battery module is too high. It needs to be limited by the 250 amps breaker and the top part. So that's the reason. So it's fine if you stack 6 modules in a tower and do the parallel connection. Capacity, you got the 6 battery blocks capacity, but the output power will be limited to 4 batteries, right? I hope I explained this clearly, all right? But give us a call, send us emails if you have any questions. So single tower from 1 module to up to 6 modules. Multi-tower in parallel, each tower, we recommend 4 modules in each tower in parallel connection, right? More battery modules is acceptable, but it won't increase more output power than the 4 modules. Yeah, so that's the that's LVS, and I want to show you this part again. I just really love this part. You don't need to open any cover. Just make the locks, make the connectors, and just plug in. Oh, here is one thing which is very important. I'm going to show you. So as you can see, we got 35 mil connectors for 35 mil cables, 50 mil, and 70 mil. So most of these batteries are installed in off-grid scenarios. So these 70 mil connectors come with the battery, right? It's in the box. So when you get the LVS model, you'll get 1 pair of these connectors. And if you need the 50 mil cables connector or 35, you can buy this one from the distributors, right? So same, just the connector inside the locks is slightly different. And we have video and we have pictures to show how to install this, to make these connectors, right? Right. One more, okay, so that's it for LVS. Now, now let's have a look at our LVL, which I believe a lot of this product has been installed. I think actually more than 1,000 systems has been installed in Australia already, right? So it's called Premium LVL 15.4. LVL stands for low voltage large, 15.4 kilowatt hours, 48 volt, 164 kilo for one system. What you can see here, actually there are two systems stacked together. So one system is just these two parts, right? For those, if you don't know, right? Total height is just 1 meter, and you got 30.8 kilowatt hours capacity, right? It's a really good product, very stable. So far, we experienced some issues of the BIC boards, and we have some issues with the apps. It's all been looked after. We don't see any major problems or any cell faulty, this kind of stuff, right? Now today we got a real these two are dummies. So we actually have this real products here. I'm going to show you. So if you change your camera here, okay. Now we've got a real machine here. We have removed the front panels already. So I'm going to show you inside, right? As you can see, these two modules comes in a wooden box. When you open the box, you will see two modules stacking together. It comes with a quick installation guidance. Just follow the pictures and to install it. Basically, what needs to be done is connect the power cables, two power cables, like this, and then connecting the sampling cable, which is just one long cable. Yeah, just connect. There is a plug here, and a plug to these two green cards are, we call it BIC boards, right? It's for sampling the voltage, temperature, signal for each battery cell, right? So this sampling cable, it got positive and negative for top battery, and also there is a positive and negative for bottom battery. So in a few cases, these cables were mixed. So this mixed the top and bottom cable, and this may burn one of the cards. So we experienced a few cases like this. So now I think from next month shipment, so we have improvement on this cable. It won't need you don't need to connect this cable. It's pre-connected in the factory, right? So there will be a connector from top cable, top battery cable to the bottom battery cable. What you need to do is to plug two connectors together. So this will completely prevent the wrong cabling and wrong cabling issue. So this is our improvement, right? So for those who didn't install this one before, you can see here is positive connector, and this is negative connector to the inverter, right? Yeah, and the whole top part, this part, gray part, is BMS. It's a drawer. It's designed to be easily replaced. So if anything happened with the BMS, it's easy to take this whole part out and replace it, right? Yeah. So today, this is a real product. I'm going to put it back and connect it to a BMU. I'm going to turn it on and show the mobile phone app, right? Okay. So we've got a BMU here. Okay, so talking about BMU. Currently, we have two types of BMUs. So this one, if you have installed LVL before, you have already seen this one. It's IP20 level. And now that the LVS is available, this is IP55 model. So this one will discontinue and replaced by the IP55 BMU, right? I think the pricing is the same. And in the future, there was only this type in the market, right? So, but in this month or next month, if you got IP20, which is indoor type of BMU, and if you need to install it in outdoors, you can swap it to an outdoor model through your distributors, right? Okay, so today I'm going to show how to connect this BMU to the battery BMS, right? Connect to BMS and connect to. Yep. Okay. So there is a power cable entry, and we can connect to the input. And I'm going to put this panel back. And there is an on-off switch, which is a plug. Okay. Oh. Okay. So if you accidentally pressed it, the light will flash, but it doesn't matter, right? So to turn on, just press and hold the button. So until, yep. Okay, just press and hold until the lights turn on and the contactor clicked, right? So system is on. To turn off, press and hold the BMU, not the battery. Battery is fine, but we recommend to turn off through BMU, because if you have more than one battery, you can just simply press and hold the BMU to turn all the battery off, right? Click and hold for 5 seconds, right? Okay, that's 5 seconds and it's off. And in off-grid scenarios, or the correct turning on procedure will be always first turn on the DC breaker between the battery and the inverter, and secondly turn on the battery and the inverter last. This is for the pre-charge circuit to work properly, right? So if you forgot to turn on the DC breaker first, the pre-charge function cannot work. The battery cannot pre-charge the inverter. It may generate a short circuit alarm, right? In that case, just turn them off and turn on the DC isolator or fuse first, and the issue will be resolved. So now let's turn on the battery again. I'm going to show you the mobile phone app. Okay, so let me find a phone. Okay, let me use my phone to connect to the Wi-Fi here. So if you can see my screen clearly, okay. There is our app is called Bconnect. You can download from Google Play or App Store. And what you can see here is when you open it, language, confirm, and then click. So you click confirm. Yes, that's the information are correct. Yes. Okay, remember at this stage, we have not connected to the battery, okay? We click download firmware. It will download firmware from internet and it will tell you the firmware stored in your mobile device is the latest. Now you can connect your mobile device to the battery box, and the password is battery box BYD B-box, right? You will see it, confirm. Okay, now I'll quit and open the Wi-Fi, and I found this battery's Wi-Fi, BYD-875F. Okay, I click connect. Oh, I already connected before, so didn't ask me for password. Right, obtaining, okay, it's connected now. Let's go back to Bconnect, right? Okay, now I can click update firmware. So if it comes out, cannot establish the connection with the battery box system, I will just simply need to quit, just wait a while or restart the Bconnect app. Now it showed up, the BMU A and B version, right? Now it comes out. Click update firmware. So just wait a few, okay, just take 1 minute or two. If you can see there is, let me see. Oh, now it's better, I think. I think it's better. 25%, 29%, 30%, right? So there are 3 firmwares to be uploaded to the battery, right? So which is one firmware for the BMU, one for the BMS A, and one for the BMS B. Why there is BMS A and B? The reason is actually it's a really good feature which is unique. BYD has designed 2 BMS cores inside. So this will enable the system can work properly even if it is updating firmware, right? So because one A can back up B, vice versa, right? So this is unique, right? Which means firmware update won't interrupt the customer's usage. You won't feel the system just being updated. Yeah. So still updating. It will take a few more minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. All right. And this mobile phone app, so it's really a good one. So if you have used the previous versions, now it's version 1.5. In 1.2 version, we can't see any more information of the battery other than the settings, right? Now in 1.5 version, you can actually see the battery status and the setups and SOCs and the limits of the charge and discharge and everything. You can actually see it in the app. And in the future, more features will be available, such as get history data. So it will be available. Okay, now firmware has been sent to the battery box system. So what we need to do now is to confirm, set up time, date and time, confirm, succeeded. Okay, now very important part, select inverter. We can see GoodWe, Synectronic, SMA, Victron, Studer, SolarEdge, right? SolarEdge is in US and European area. Unfortunately, it's not in Australia. Right, okay, let's just select one, for instance, Synectronic, confirm the model. This model is LVL, so we click LVL. And total number of battery systems. This is really important, right? We got just one battery system. Click 1, confirm, grid, off-grid, on-grid, backup. We got these options. So let's click off-grid, phase, single phase, 3 phase. Let's select single phase, confirm. Right? That's a summary. And then model, total number of batteries, single. We click The system has been configured and installed according to BYD Battery-Box Premium minimum configuration and compatible inverter list and operating manual. We confirm, submit. Okay, so confirm, yep, just like that, right? So basically, after finishing this step, what we need to do is to allow 15 to 20 minutes. We recommend 20 minutes, let the system to finish the firmware update. Because what we just have done is to upload firmwares to the BMU. The firmwares are stored in the BMU. It will need some time to push to the BMS, right? So this feature is, the design concept is that the BMU is like a brain of the system, right? It contains all of the firmwares. It's like a brain. All knowledge is here. So if in some cases the system needs to be firmware updated and there is no internet on site, what we can do is to express post a BMU to the site, right, with the latest firmware. Just to replace it, unplug cables, replace it, turn on, but it still requires to do the setups with this Bconnect, and then the firmware is replaced. It's updated, right? Okay, so that's the firmware update. Okay, another thing I want to mention is, so our team, we always listen to the customers' feedback. We actually appreciate the feedback, any feedback from the customers, right? So we got some feedback saying that because the cable entry is here from the front part of the battery, and it will go to the wall. So yeah, some people want this cable to be hidden, right? So we are designing a cover for this LVL. The purpose is to hide the cables, right? So we already have the sketch design, and it will be soon available in 1 month or 2. There will be, consider a big pizza box, right? It will look like a pizza box on top, sitting on top. And at the back of the pizza, there will be 2 cable entry. So what you can see is there is only like 10 to 15 centimeters thick of the pizza box, and you won't be able to see any cables. It will come out from the back, from the rear of the battery, right? So that's an improvement according to some installers. And we encourage and we appreciate if you have any feedbacks, just let us know. And our engineering team, yeah, they really want to keep perfecting the products according to the real, the people who use it, who install it, right? Okay, so basically that's the demonstration of the LVL, and we got the LVS, and what else? Do you have any? We can answer at the site. Right. So, okay, I will handle a microphone to Jay, and now we can answer some questions. We can answer all of the questions you have mentioned. And today we are focusing on the LVL and LVS. So tomorrow, same time, from 3 p.m., we're going to focus on the HVM, HVS. And it's really good products. I really want to show you and the simplicity of this products and how easy to install and how beautiful this system looks like, right? And even with a clicker, This is to protect. It's an extra protection device to cut the power once you remove the panel, right? You remove this panel, the clicker just clicked, and from the hardware level to cut the power to provide safety, right? So it's really good products. Let's talk about it tomorrow, right? Okay, put it here. All right, I'll handle my microphone to Jay. Thank you for listening. We're going to answer all of the questions. Feel free to ask any questions.
Okay, thanks guys, thanks Leo, and this is the end of the presentation, and just we have a Q&A section in the Zoom webinar. Yeah, just putting your questions there. We'll leave the Q&A for another 15 minutes, and we'll try to help answer all those questions. And I'll just switch to the PowerPoint. And for those, sorry, before you guys go, and actually, we having gifts, BYD gifts, and could you please just, send your questions, and we'll give the free gifts to lucky audience, and it's gonna be, a BYD brand bags or basically small things, and we can send to you guys after. And also, if you are, old BYD customer, and I know you guys, then just, letting us know, demanding the gifts, we'll send you anyway. But yeah, thanks guys. And if you have no questions, that's finished.
Charging, discharging temperature.
This is the charging or discharging temperature. 1 second. Okay. For the LVL, maximum charge current will be from -10 degrees to 0 degrees will be 60 amp, so roughly 3 kilowatt. That can still charging into the battery. For example, -5 degrees Celsius, you still have per each LVL, you still have 3 kilowatt. And once the temperature reaches 5 degrees Celsius, or actually 6 degrees Celsius, above 5 degrees, you are having a normal charging and discharging rate. We can send you, if you guys really need these documents at different temperatures, how the current derated, we can send you individually, and maybe just put your email in the Q&A and demanding you need this current derating on the BYD batteries. And thanks guys, and have a nice afternoon. And if you guys want to see on the high voltage batteries, just come and see us tomorrow. Oh, we have CPT points, I forgot. Okay. Also, we have a free 25 CPT points, just if you're attending the training today. Also put your name in the name and email in the Q&A sections. We'll basically send you CPT points if you need them. All right. And thank you guys. And just join tomorrow. You probably get a lucky gift if you're attending both sessions.